There goes the camera. Hello, everybody. Today is my day 123, 1 year, 123 days. It's September 12th, 2017, and I realized this morning after I weighed myself that I'm halfway to my goal, which is amazing. Halfway to losing weight. So I just want to make a video that kind of dovetails into my transition blog. If you don't know, about I don't know how many months ago, we'll say 6 months ago, about 6 months ago, um, after finally doing all that I needed to do, and I got my paperwork together, and I had my insurance ready and everything, I was ready to go. I went up to have the consultation and surgical consultation with the surgeon, and the surgeon kind of said that you're a great candidate. Everything is in order. Your paperwork, your letters, insurance, da da la 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 la. And I was like, and she said, but you are overweight. I was like, okay, I'm overweight. You have a broken arm, and you're overweight, you fix it. You need surgery, you get a broken leg or your appendix bursts or whatever, they don't say, oh, you're too fat for surgery. But in this case, she did. She said, you're too fat. And very politely, I might say. So left the office with the instruction that if I was able to lose about 106, 110 pounds, come back. I mean, and really that was it. And I made several videos about me ranting and raving about how unfair it was, and etc., etc. I'm kind of past that now, obviously. So I'm halfway there, and that's good news. We'll look at it very positively. I've lost, I'm halfway there, like 52, 54 pounds. So technically, I'm like I just passed over the halfway mark. So have 52.2 pounds to go. And then we'll pick up kind of where we left off last year. Letters are still good. Insurance has changed a little bit. I'm a little bit afraid of that. There's some things they won't do until you get to that point. And part of me, the skeptic in me, says, okay, I'm going to get there, and there's going to be some, oh, you didn't fill out paper number 431. You have to start all over again and wait your 3 months and whatever. And that's fine. That's fine. I'll still reserve the right to bitch and complain about it. But anyway, so a bit of a shift is in order. I had done through my work a bit of a Weight Watchers type program that kind of got me nowhere. It was great at, tell us what you ate and your portions and whatnot, but I didn't really lose any weight. We did that for a while. Actually, I was doing that. I started in January of last year, and so I was doing it for the first few months of March and April, and I was like, shit, I've not lost weight in 6 months or 5 or 6 months. This isn't worth doing. So then I switched over to the USDA website. They have a really cool tracking tool that suggests nutritional, what you should eat and how much of it and whatnot. And that was really, really good. And that took me from like 310 down to about 280, about 30 pounds, and then wouldn't lose any more. By the USDA guidelines, my body was happily the way it was. And unfortunately, that is still too fat. So I had to do something a little more radical, and stumbled across Penn Jillette's book about the potato diet, and I've been eating potatoes for a while. But I could not really get any more information from the diet creator, who's a scientist. Didn't return a tweet, didn't return email, etc., etc., etc. Kind of left hung and dry. And so I did some more research, and turns out a lot of what the Penn's diet is very similar to another diet. It's the Dr. Furman's Eat to Live. And I ordered those books, and basically it's a very, very modified version of being a vegan. A lot of fruits and vegetables, very little, about 90% of your intake is fruit and vegetables. And that's going to be, I think, what's going to carry me, hopefully, to the rest of this, the next 52 pounds. We'll see. The hardest thing has been before I exercised. That wasn't a problem. I didn't eat sweets. I wasn't a sweet person. That wasn't a problem. My problem was exercising 90 minutes a day and eating what the government told me to and not losing weight. That's what was the problem. So if you do have the time and you're interested in a good read, I did like reading Dr. Furman's book, The Eat to Live program, and it's the first few chapters are about the scientific basis for it, and it definitely sounds like an infomercial about halfway through, but backed up by references in science. So and I think that's probably the takeaway from any diet program. Whether it's paleo based or fruits and vegetables or a guava nectar that he's frozen at 100. It doesn't matter how quacky it sounds or how legitimate it sounds or who it's based from. If you lose weight on it, embrace it. And that's something that back when I did the Atkins diet, I was kind of sold on that too, some of the science behind it, and it worked for a while, and some people it works really well for. The potato thing, yeah, again, worked really well. But again, if the diet doesn't work for you, do something else. Don't get hung up on it. We'll see. This has been a learning experience for me. I think it's interesting too, and again, I don't know how true Dr. Furman's book, but talks about the USDA and the USDA, a little bit of conspiracy theory. The United States Department of Agriculture, the USDA, was created to help push the American meat and dairy, right? People that raise cows and milk cows, killing meat and dairy. It was created by them to help boost the economy. And so if you think about it from that way, if you've got something to plug that's going to help you out, you really have to question, okay, is that the legitimate, should, I know I was raised on kind of the idea of a plate cut into 4 quarters or the pyramid, and, meats and veggies and dairy, and I can't think of the breads and cereals or whatever. Well, is that really nutritionally what we should be eating? Or is that, if you have an axe to grind or you have something you're getting paid to do, you're going to plug your thing, right? And so if your money's coming from the meat industry and the dairy industry, guess what? 50% of your diet on that plate is meat and dairy, and again, if you follow the science somewhat of disease and heart disease and everything else. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, if I think if a person loses weight on baby harp seals and you got to go out and club them yourself and it works for you, as heartless and as cruel as that sounds, I'd say go for it. And I only say that reaching to a point where like everyone just says lose weight, and the only thing I can tell you is exercise more, and you're like, I'm already exercising 90 minutes a day. And something that the inventor of Ro Kronise invented, Penn's diet, says something about you can't outrun your mouth. And which I do, that kind of sticks with me. And so it was interesting to go from that, which was like eat potatoes, which really was just a way of breaking my addiction to food, and looking at food more as a fuel source and not entertainment, and breaking some of my addictions. I know I'm addicted to salt. I still am. I love salt, even though I've been eating potatoes for 2 weeks. And not putting extra salt on it. I'm trying to remember where I was going with that. Oh, potato, and then you pick up Dr. Furman's book, and it's like, eat nutrient-dense foods like greens, mustard greens, collard greens, chard. I don't even know what chard is. I think chard is you put a stick in the fire and it gets charred. Kale, these greens, these leafy greens that are very dense as far as minerals and vitamins, and not a whole lot of calories. And so, and then, he pushes that over starchy vegetables like potatoes, which have very, very little nutritional benefits. And so, again, to rewind where I was 3 weeks ago, switching over to a starch, a potato, when I could have done something like kale, would have had the same, effect of breaking the dependency on food, and I would have been getting all these nutrients and everything. So again, if I could circle back to that idea of whatever works for you, chase it, run it down, and whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see where I am. And again, the easy weight's off now. It's the hard weight. I can't really tell the difference, and to say that I've lost 54 pounds, 56 pounds, I don't see it in me, and maybe other people will. I don't know, but almost out of time. Really, that's just about it. So rolling on, and we'll keep going. I estimate that if I continue to lose like 0.9 of a pound or whatnot, it'll be somewhere in November. For fun, I just kind of did half a pound as like my backup, and half a pound a week. And if I did that, it would be sometime in December. So by January, by the end of the year or the start of next year, I should be at the weight. And of course, that is one half of what I need to have surgery. The other thing is money, which does not grow on trees, unfortunately, unless you're a lumberjack or something like that. But, that I have no clue. But I couldn't have the surgery and be overweight. So, you know what I mean? It's like, tackle what I can. What's within my control? What I eat and how much exercise, that's totally within my control. Finances is a matter of just saving, and I have a little bit of a hiccup here with child support, and I have to take care of my daughter first, and that's where the money's going. So, over time, eventually I will be able to save up enough, and who knows, maybe use some income tax money to help spur it. My health insurance is about to change. The new plan comes out in January, and so I have no clue. Thanks to the Affordable Care Act, President Obama's plan, my company could not discriminate one surgery over another. So if they were going to cover a broken leg or a knee or an appendix or a bad kidney or whatever, GCS was treated just like any other surgery, according to the Affordable Care Act. And so if the current federal government, the administration, monkeys around and repeals it, that may not be true anymore. And so there's a bit of a stopwatch. There's a bit of a clock, a countdown saying, hey, if you can do it, get surgery before the political climate changes and they monkey around enough to destroy a path to it. It's kind of like a door that's closing and Indiana Jones runs, and can you get through the psh before it shuts? That's kind of the way I look at it now. That said, political climate can change. A new president, new administration can get in there and open that door back up. But right now it's just there. People are going, I wonder how we can knock that down. So, anywho, good luck to you all. Have a super day. Good luck in your journey, wherever you are on your journey. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Good luck, everyone.